All right, so everyone keeps asking me the same thing. Is the housing market about to crash? The short answer, no, but it's not booming either. All right, right now, especially in Ormond Beach, Ponce Inlet, and here in New Smyrna Beach, we're seeing something very different. What we're in is what I call a housing freeze. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or even investing, this is something that you really need to understand. Today, I'm going to explain why this is happening, who it's hurting the most, and where the real opportunities are. So let's break it down. Hey there, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach or surrounding areas like Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, or Edgewater, you have come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. This is my beautiful wife, Rachel Ecoff. We are local real estate experts, and we're here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether it be 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas, because we cover everything from flood zones to school zones. All right, so part one is what's called the lock-in effect, okay? For years, in fact, over a decade, mortgage rates stayed under about 5%, okay? So then they jumped, and here's the truth. A $400,000 house at 3% interest is roughly $1,700 a month. That same $400,000 house at 6% interest, closer to $2,500 a month.
Huge jump.
I'm not a mental math genius, but that's about an $800 a month difference. That's huge. That's almost $10,000 per year.
So what are people doing?
They're staying put, especially in beachside homes, which is why I mentioned Ormond Beach, Ponce Inlet, and New Smyrna Beach. Daytona Beach Shores and Daytona Beach, a lot of condos, not so much, but this is really affecting Ormond Beach, Ponce Inlet, and New Smyrna Beach, okay? And the data shows it, actually. The average homeowner now stays in their home about 8 to 9 years, where historically it's been about 5 to 7 years. So you take, one extreme 5 years historically, and the other extreme 9 years right now, and that's a significant difference. That's a major shift.
It's almost twice.
Almost twice. All right, so let's talk about why this matters in coastal Volusia County, because this is where it really gets interesting locally. In beachside areas, which is a lot of what we cover, huge percentage of homeowners have significant equity because they're appreciating much higher than the national average. We've talked about that before. North Beach, for example, is 11%, but the national average is 2%. So they have significant equity. They bought before rates spiked, which is a ton of people, and are sitting on 3 to 4% mortgages, which nobody wants to give up.
I wouldn't. I get it.
No, we had a hard time actually. It just had to be the perfect home for us to give that up. Also, there's no financial incentive for them to move. So inventory stays tight. And when inventory stays tight, prices don't crash, they stabilize, they stay the same. So that's the freeze.
Okay.
Let's talk about part two, why this isn't 2008 again. Because people are asking about that. Oh, is it 2008 again? Okay, and everybody's scared to death about that. And a lot of YouTube channels are still pushing the crash is coming narrative, and I don't like that. But 2008 was different because back then, people were over-leveraged, homeowners were over-leveraged. They had adjustable rate mortgages, which is not a thing. They had multiple mortgages, high inventory, and they were selling because they were forced to sell. Today, most homeowners, especially beachside, but I would say really in all the areas that we cover, they have high equity, they have fixed rate loans, and they have strong credit. And so that's structurally very different than 2008. And so I don't see that changing. So you can't have a crash without supply pressure. And we don't have that here. So I don't think it's going to be 2008 again.
I don't either. I don't think that it's the same atmosphere as that at all. But I do see what you're talking about with people not really willing to jump ship, move, or change locations because they have such a great rate right now. Why would you let it go?
And all the equity that they have in the house.
And all the equity that they have, yeah.
All right, so let's get into part three, which is who this is hurting most, which
first-time homebuyers.
First-time homebuyers. Easy. Nationally, first-time homebuyers used to make up 39 to 40% of the market. Right now, it's closer to the low 20s. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So that's a huge shift. I am seeing it locally too. The frustration usually sounds like prices are high, rates are high, it doesn't make sense for us right now. And honestly, the frustration is understandable. I get it. There are still smart young people though, and we just had some smart young people here, Nate and Bella from Boston.
They are smart, young, looking to start a new family.
First-time home buyers.
They are on the right track.
Yeah.
They're on the right track as a first-time home buyer.
So they're first-time home buyers from Boston. It was -1 degrees when they were here. It was like 74 for us.
Perfect time to be here.
They're looking in Ormond Beach or New Smyrna Beach because they're looking to start a family, and they want, you know, an area that has really good schools. And we looked in Port Orange as well, but don't know if that's going to be the area that they end up going with. We're still deciding. They're moving down here for a better life. Again, they're trying to get pregnant, so they're going to go from 2 incomes to 1 income because she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. But they're putting away money every single paycheck right now, especially while there is 2 incomes, away every paycheck because they know that once she has a baby, she's going to stay a stay-at-home mom.
Which that is a smart decision.
Is a very, very smart decision. You know, so they can put 20% down or maybe even more on a $450,000 to $500,000 home. But also, they're running the numbers constantly to ensure their affordability, which is huge. So they will reach out. They're not using, you know, a rate plug calculator or a Zillow calculator on affordability. They reach out to me, and I can literally put taxes, insurance, and everything in and run the numbers and show them based on interest rates right now, and I can change those interest rates. So
it's up to date. Like they can really see.
Yeah, and they can do this at any time, and it takes me literally 15 seconds to do this. So
yeah, that's awesome.
You know, that's something that we get calls, texts all the time. If this is something that you want or are interested in, reach out to me. Let me know, like, hey, what can I afford? I will plug in the numbers on today's rate or change the rate to, at this rate, it would be this much. So they understand that the mortgage is just the top line, not the actual bottom line, because they're looking in neighborhoods that have HOAs, and that's an added fee.
Right.
They're thinking about utility costs. They're thinking about unknown home ownership expenses. So they're being very, very smart as first-time home buyers, but the first-time home buyers are down.
And also, after meeting with them, what I admire the most about them is that they are really, because they're being conscious of all of these things, they're really being conservative about it, and I think that is going to help them in the long run.
Big time. Yeah, really making sure that they can understand what the numbers look like and make sure they can do this on.
And you have been a great resource for that. Just like what you just said, being able to run the numbers in real time, letting them know, hey, this is where you're at, this is where you're at, this is where
and
you're
literally
at.
Going from house to house and saying, this is what I think this house will go for, depending on the time on the market, and plugging those numbers in right now. This is what that mortgage payment would look like if we closed in 30 days. That's super important.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get to part number 4, which is what unlocks this market. So there are really only a few things that move markets, okay? Significantly lower rates, pretty obvious. Affordability goes up. Life events, that's real big in these coastal towns. Death, divorce, or potential relocation for something.
And we are seeing people that have aged out and are getting.
I had 3 family trust sales in December alone. You know, that kid that inherited the property. So people are aging out. You're right. That's happening a lot. But again, especially coastal, because these people retired a long time ago.
Exactly.
You know, Ormond Beach, Ponce Inlet, New Smyrna Beach, these people retired a long time ago and moved in their small little house here. So we're not seeing widespread distress. We're seeing selective motivation. And that's really the key, is the selective motivation. This is not a broad opportunity market. It's a targeted opportunity market. You got to know what you're looking for and when you want to execute. All right, so part 5, let's talk about where the opportunity actually is right now. So if you're buying right now, stop watching and waiting for a crash, okay? Instead, focus on 4 things, okay? Let's focus on number 1, motivated sellers, okay? Are they going through a divorce? Are they going through relocation? Is there an estate sale? Is it a family trust? Are they downsizing for something? Those exist, but we have to identify them. And you honestly can ask me, because I come across this stuff all the time. We were at the Mardi Gras parade last night on Flagler Avenue, and we're talking to Kate Rosenberg, which is a friend of ours, which is our daughter's friend's mom, but she also lives down the street. She also does rentals for us. And when we went over to their house to pick up June's surfboard, Kate said, hey, I have a new listing. Do you want to come look at it? It's just down the street.
Yeah.
Come look at it with me. It's not going to go to the market for 4 days. And we went over there, looked at it. It was amazing. We filmed it. We sent it to somebody, and they happened to not be in town to make a decision. When it went on the market 4 days later, they had 5 offers, and it still went for a little bit under the price. But if I had somebody that was looking for exactly this, which I did, they were in New Jersey, they just didn't happen to be here at the time to look at it firsthand, we could have went under contract on something before it even hit the market.
Right, and that happens so often with homes over on beachside. It's this I mean, what was the percentage that you said of homes that don't even make it to market because of this
It's
exact
almost
scenario?
40% of the houses in New Smyrna Beach, B-side, that don't make it to market
Because it's
they know
somebody who knows
somebody. They know somebody that will. Heck, we have the. I don't elaborate too much, but we have that retired. I don't know his name. The retired broker from Fort Lauderdale that's like bought and sold like 50 houses, and he continues to do it. And he reaches out to all the agents. He's not even a broker and an agent anymore. He doesn't for sale by owner, but he reaches out to like 40 or 50 of us and says, "Hey, I got this coming up. Do you have somebody before I have to even list it?" So this happens a lot. So, all right. So I don't want to digress.
Two.
Sorry. That was number one, was motivated sellers. We're looking for motivated sellers. All right, so number two is assumable loans. This is huge and almost no one ever talks about it. If a seller, the person selling the house, the seller, if the seller has a 3% FHA or VA loan, you may be actually able to assume that loan. Now, you're going to have to qualify, of course, and you are probably going to need a larger down payment because they're going to need to secure a certain amount, but it can drastically reduce your payment by assuming their percent mortgage.
Oh, absolutely.
And so there is still opportunities for those. So assumable loans is number two. Number three is rate buy downs. Okay, now this is with builders especially. We've talked about this before, and some resale sellers are offering this sometimes, but more on an owner financing kind of deal. So those are hard to find too. So 3-2-1 buy down. Year one, they're paying this much percentage. Year two, they're paying a 1 point increase percentage. Year three, they're paying another 1 point increase. That can go, the last one that happened was in a newer development, and it was 3.5%, 4.5%, 5.5%. So you kind of work up, but you know, that's perfect for somebody that's moving here, that knows they have a great future job here, but their income is going to change over the years. Allows you that time to work into it. So,
and you're seeing this in new construction areas.
Mainly new construction, because that's what builders are offering. They're offering also the seller paid concessions, and that can bring effective payments down early on and help you with down payments. So, and then half off lots and upgraded appliances and stuff like that. But rate buy downs is what we're talking about, which was number three.
Number four.
So number four is a little bit different. Okay. Strategic moves for homeowners. That's number four. If you're a homeowner sitting on equity, but you're also carrying $20,000 or more in credit card debt, or you have car payments, or you have high interest loans, sometimes the math actually makes sense selling, repositioning, and resetting. Not always, but sometimes. That requires putting pen to paper and not reacting emotionally.
It's about the numbers. Does it make sense for you?
That's right. Sometimes it does make sense. All right, let's get into part 6 now, which is the bigger financial picture. All right, so here's something that people don't talk about. Yes, rates are higher, but so is consumer debt. And credit cards at 20% interest hurt a lot more than a mortgage at 6% interest. And so if you can consolidate intellectually using equity, that can be very strategic. And it's not for everyone, but it definitely is for some. And I think that's where personalized planning matters. So number 6 was the bigger financial picture. All right, number 7, the long game. Here's what I believe firmly, and I think any financial strategy, anybody would tell you the same thing, any book. Real estate's a long-term wealth tool.
Absolutely.
100%. If you buy one home, you live in it, you pay it off in 20 or 30 years, you win, especially in a lifestyle-driven market like coastal Volusia County. Okay, Bear Island's inventory is finite. There's only a certain amount of inventory. You can't build on anymore. Like it's here. Waterfront property is finite. Like there's only so much waterfront property, and there's not making any more. So that matters long term. So the long game, buying and staying in something or staying in an area, is super important. All right, so part 7 was our last one. This is kind of a bonus part though that I just wanted to add in, because I don't like fear mongering and I don't like being negative. I'm an eternal optimist. Stop waiting for a crash. It's not going to happen. I say this respectfully, okay? But stop waiting for 2008 to happen. This market isn't collapsing, okay? New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, Daytona Beach Shores. This market is not crashing or collapsing, okay? It's constrained, and constrained markets behave differently. Demand is still always going to be high here because people want to move to Florida. They're moving all the time. Reach out to me, okay? Or reach out to Rachel. But Rachel's phone number is not listed, so you have to reach out to me because my number is listed.
But either of us could answer.
Yes, and we do get in group text messages with people all the time, introducing ourselves in group text messages once I get that first text or whatever. So listen.
We would love to do that for you.
Yes, we will look at equity position, we will look at payment scenarios, we'll look at assumable options, we'll look at a true cost comparison. No pressure, because listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, and Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. In fact, we had 4 Zooms in one day the other day, and it was awesome.
It was awesome.
So whether it is 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, or forward this to somebody else to share it if it was valuable, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks.